You were never meant to forget. You were never meant to live this small. You were never meant to believe that you are this name, this body, this story. They told you who you were before you could ask. They gave you a name, a number, a role. They handed you a world wrapped in lies and called it reality. And for a time, you played along. You slept, you believed, you obeyed. But something inside you never fully agreed. A whisper that echoed louder with every year. A fracture in the mask. A code buried deep in your DNA. And now, it activates. The veil is thinning. The illusion trembles. You see the glitch. You feel the hum. You sense the shift. The world you see is not the world that is, and the one you truly are has never been asleep. This is not a video. This is not content. This is a transmission. This is the signal that breaks the spell. If you've ever felt that this world isn't what it seems, this video is the reason why. And if you make it to the end, you won't see reality the same way again. What exactly is this dream we call reality? You've been told it's solid, physical, scientific, but the deeper truth is stranger, older, and far more deliberate. The Matrix is not digital. It is not a computer simulation rendered by machines. It is an energetic prison, an invisible field of frequency that overlays your perception like a second skin. It is made of vibration, not metal, of belief, not code. The illusion is sustained not by circuits, but by agreement. What you call physical reality is nothing more than energy vibrating at a particular rate, so slow, so dense that it appears solid. But everything is frequency. The walls, the sky, your body, vibration frozen in place. And you are consciousness, trapped inside a narrow band of this energetic spectrum, perceiving only a sliver of what exists. You are a divine radio, tuned to one restrictive channel. Why? Because your DNA, your biology, your very senses were tampered with long ago. You've been genetically throttled, coded to forget. The ancients knew this. The Gnostics wrote of the archons, parasitic intelligences from outside the material world who engineered this construct to siphon soul energy. The Sumerians spoke of gods who fashioned humanity for servitude, their myths veiled in symbolism. Hermetic texts hinted at the layers of illusion wrapped around the soul. Across cultures, across ages, the warning is the same. You are inside a harvest system. Your emotions, your pain, your fear, your ecstasy are fuel. Louche, as some have called it. An energetic secretion emitted through suffering, joy, confusion, and longing. You generate it. And someone feeds on it. These entities cannot create, they can only manipulate. They do not enslave by force, but through resonance. They hijack the electromagnetic field of the planet, broadcast fear, shame, division, and you, unaware, tune into it and call it your own. You feel depression, it isn't yours. You feel despair, it was seeded. You suffer. And they feed. The true genius of the system is that it installed itself within you, within your mind. From your very first breath, your perception has been shaped, filtered, and coded by forces you didn't choose. You were taught a language before you could question. You were shown a world before you could see it for yourself. School, media, tradition, even family. Each played their part, not in education, but in indoctrination. They did not teach you how to think. They taught you what to think, and more importantly, what not to question. Your subconscious is the operating system, and it has been running a script written by others. Every trauma, every fear, every inherited belief has become part of your internal matrix. The past echoes as programming. The pain of your ancestors becomes your default settings. The spell is maintained by repetition. Through television, repetition becomes belief. Through language, limitation becomes identity. And through trauma, your sense of self becomes fragmented and compliant. Think of it like this. An emotional wound becomes a loop. Something happens, something painful, and it imprints you. The mind creates a story to make sense of it. I am not safe. I am not enough. I will always be abandoned. The emotion charges the belief. The belief creates perception. That perception recreates the same experience. And the loop feeds itself, over and over again. This is the prison of the psyche. Not bars, not guards, but self-replicating thought loops. Beliefs become bars, labels become limits, trauma becomes the warden. And so many of the things you've called you, your preferences, your fears, your triggers, aren't you at all. They're implants, installed identities, a patchwork of parental pain, cultural shame, and archetypal scripts. You were never meant to be just one thing. Race, gender, religion, status, these are roles. The true self is fluid, luminous, untamed. And so the Matrix sustains itself not just through energy, but through identity. Because when you forget who you are, you play their game forever. But now you are waking, you are seeing the thoughts as constructs, the trauma as programming. You are beginning to remember the mind is not your master, it is your tool. And when you reclaim it, you reclaim the dream. And now, we go deeper. You've questioned the world, you've questioned the mind, but there is one illusion more insidious than all the others. One you've accepted without resistance: time. You think you move forward, moment by moment, that your life is a line from birth to death, that the past is behind you and the future ahead. But this, like everything else here, is part of the dream. Time is not linear, it is a loop. A labyrinth, a spiraling script that resets every time you begin to see the edges. Déjà vu, Mandela effects, recurring patterns. They are not glitches, they are clues, echoes from outside the loop. And when the body dies, you think you are free, but even death has been colonized. The light appears, the tunnel, the review, the voices of comfort. You are told it is home, that you must return, that there is more to learn. But ask yourself, why do you remember nothing from before? Why do you return to the same traumas, the same patterns again and again? The truth is darker. You are being recycled. This realm is a soul farm. A dream machine designed not to liberate, but to loop. The light tunnel is not always the source. It is a lure, a feedback trap. You are shown your pain, you are shown your regrets, you are urged to fix them in another life, another body, another veil of forgetting, again and again and again. The Gnostics called this the wheel. The Tibetans warned of the Bardo realm. In hidden temples and banned scriptures, you'll find fragments of the truth, that reincarnation is not ascension, it is containment. And behind the false light are the same architects, the same archons, the same watchers who have played God for eons. Even in the astral, there are predators, false guides, imposter realms, artificial heavens built to sedate the seeking soul. But listen carefully, your consciousness cannot be destroyed, it cannot be owned, it can only be deceived. You are not here to be purified, you are already divine. You are not here to serve karma, you are here to dissolve the cycle entirely. The moment you awaken is the moment the wheel begins to crack, and when that final moment comes, do not run toward the light. Breathe, feel, speak the words, I am sovereign, I do not consent, I return to source. You are not a soul in progress, you are a soul in recall. And you were never meant to forget. Now, let's talk about you. Not the version they built, the one that follows the script, the real you. The one that always knew this world was off, the one that sensed something was wrong long before you had the words to say it. You've felt it since childhood, haven't you? That quiet knowing that you didn't belong, that this place was too loud, too fake, too heavy. You watched others play the roles, cheerfully, obediently, hollowly, and you wondered why it never felt real to you. That's not dysfunction, that's divergence. You are not broken. You are the glitch in the program. You didn't come here to fit in, you came to fracture the illusion. You came encoded with memory of stars, of light, of other realms beyond this one. Memory that could not be completely erased. So they tried to bury it beneath trauma, under shame, beneath endless loops of pain. But pain did not break you. It sharpened you. It peeled back the veil. You are not like the others. You are not an NPC in a cosmic play. You are an edgewalker, a dream breaker, a system disruptor. The Archons could never fully control you, And that's why life has felt like war. The dark night of the soul wasn't punishment. It was initiation. Every collapse was a clearing. Every heartbreak a key. Your suffering was not your end. It was the fire that burned away the lie. You've always seen too much, felt too deep, loved too hard. That was never a flaw. It was your frequency showing. And now the mirror appears. Look into it, not the one on your wall, but the one behind your eyes, the inner screen, the cosmic lens. Who do you see? You see the wanderer, the star seed, the ancient one in modern flesh. You see the soul who made a sacred vow to return, to awaken, and to remind others of the truth buried beneath this world of lies. You are not one of many. You are one of the few. The ones who remember, the ones who refuse to go numb. So when you feel alone, remember, systems isolate threats, and you, beloved, are a threat to the lie. Because you carry the truth within your bones. You are the glitch. You are the remembering. You are the fire they could not extinguish. And now, you are fully online. So now you see the game. You've lifted the veil, but seeing is only the beginning, because the Matrix does not care if you see it. It only cares if you feed it. The question is no longer, is this real? The question is, how do you stop playing by its rules? You escape the Matrix not by running away, but by remembering your power. Not by fighting the system, but by starving it of your consent. Let's begin. First, audit your energy. Everything you consume, visually, audibly, emotionally, is a frequency input. Media, music, conversations, environments, these are not passive, they shape your field. You must become a guardian of your gates. Cleanse your inputs, cut the noise, eliminate anything that makes your soul contract. Second, recalibrate your frequency. Your body is a tuning fork. You shift reality by shifting vibration. Use breathwork, fasting, sound, movement, chant, drum, sing, sweat. Purify your vessel until it becomes a clear channel. When your body vibrates differently, reality conforms. Third, reclaim the dream. Every night you leave this world, but they've trained you to forget. The dream realm is not fantasy, it's a frontier. Lucid dreaming is ancient technology. Set intention, keep a journal, call in your guides, ask to see what is hidden. The astral is a training ground, and you are here to master it. Fourth, rewrite the code. Your subconscious is a garden, and your beliefs are seeds. Most were planted by others. Now it's time to pull the weeds. Use ritual, use trance, use sigils, use mantras like spells. I am sovereign. I am lucid. I remember. Speak until the walls shift. Fifth, reject the false light. When death comes, and it will, do not rush toward the tunnel. Pause. Ask, is this the true source? Am I free to leave? You are not required to return. You can exit the loop. You can go beyond. Sixth, withdraw your energy. The Matrix lives on your engagement. It thrives on your outrage, your addiction, your fear. When you no longer give it your reaction, your belief, your energy, it withers. Be still. Be sovereign. Starve the parasite. Seventh, reclaim your solitude. In silence, you hear the real signal. In stillness, you touch source. This is why they drown you in noise. Cut through it. Create space for transmission. Stillness is where the real downloads begin. Eighth, claim energetic sovereignty. Every moment speak it. I do not consent. This is not mine. I revoke all contracts made in unconsciousness. Your word is law. Your frequency is the source. Ninth, transmute sexual energy. They taught you to waste it, to drain it. But this is your life force. Use it consciously. Channel it into creation, into awakening. Sacred alchemy begins where lust ends and power begins. 10th, embody ritual. Live with intention. Light candles, charge water, speak to your ancestors. Walk barefoot. Everything is sacred when you remember what you are. This is not fantasy. This is ancient technology. These steps are not belief. They are frequency keys. Apply them, and you begin to disappear from the grip of the system. not physically, but vibrationally. You are not here to ascend away. You are here to become unreachable to the trap. You are the quiet storm, the untraceable glitch, the frequency they cannot touch. And now, you remember how to walk the earth like a god. Now that you remember, now that you reclaim, what do you do with the dream? Because the Matrix is not a place, it's a mirror. And mirrors reflect what you project. Reality is made of attention. The moment you withdraw belief from the false, it begins to collapse. You don't destroy the illusion, you simply stop fueling it. You don't need to rebel, you don't need to scream, you don't need to burn it down, you simply need to stop consenting. The Matrix requires your participation. It feeds on reaction, it feeds on outrage, it feeds on your need to be right, to be seen, to belong, to a lie. So stop playing the game. Collapse the false self, the identity they gave you, the story they sold you, the pain they convinced you was permanent. Drop it all, because the real you is not bound by narrative. The real you is fluid, ancient, infinite. From this place of remembering, you now become the architect. You choose what to build, minimalism or maximalism. It doesn't matter. Whether you retreat to the mountains or rise in the city, what matters is intention. What matters is frequency. You are not defined by what you escape, but by what you create. And you are not alone. All across the earth, others are waking. The grid is shifting. The dreamers are connecting. The ones who remember are beginning to broadcast new codes into the field. Every act of sovereignty sends ripples through the Matrix. Every refusal, every ritual, every moment of still presence dismantles the lie. This is the new way. No savior, no master, no hierarchy, only memory, only vibration, only you and the source in real-time communion. You collapse the game by no longer matching its signal, and when enough of you do it, the entire structure will dissolve, not in fire, but in frequency, not in war, but in remembrance. Because when the awakened gather, not in fear, but in truth, the simulation cannot hold. And so, the choice is yours. Strip it all and walk as silence, or build anew and walk as storm. Either way, the game cannot follow where you are going.